Good morning. I'm Florida Plant Mama, and I garden here in Central Florida, Zone 10A. So it's now July in Central Florida, and summertime has officially struck hard. We're in the thick of it. That being said, this is not my favorite month to garden, and the reason why is because it's so hot, it's humid, the insects have superpowers. They come out in droves. Things start dying out in the garden. It's not as productive as in the springtime, so the excitement decreases. And there's a lot of disease in the plants. Summertime is my time to kind of take a break from gardening, but not really, because I still have to maintain, because summertime is also when rainy season starts here in Central Florida. So the rain contains a little bit of nitrogen that comes down on the ground, and the weeds just sprout like crazy. The weeds will overrun this garden if I don't stay out here doing something during the summertime. I don't know if you've noticed, but the videos have been a little less frequent, and that's just because I am trying to get out here first thing in the morning, get in, get out, do what I need to do as quickly as possible so I can escape from the nightmare of the heat. But I decided it's early enough this morning. I want to show you what's going on in the garden and do a couple things. I'm not quite sure what this video is going to be today, but stay tuned. We'll find out together. Okay, so the first thing I want to do this morning is to address a summertime problem. Do you see that? That is sooty mold. Look, it's even gone into my little bird bath, and it's jumped onto a neighboring plant. I have tried to wash it off. I've sprayed it with fungicide, and I have sprayed it with the soap. It's not, sometimes on the leaves you can scrape it off. So let me see if I can find a leaf for you. Okay, so this is the leaf, and as you can see, you can kind of scrape it off, right? But it covers your plant and it inhibits photosynthesis. So I've got to take care of this because I don't want it infecting everything in this area. Look, it's even gotten a little bit on the leaf of my elephant ear. The tops look great, but in here we have problems. Additionally, most of the plants that I have in pots in this area, well, a lot of them anyway, have run their course. We still have some peppers, which seem to be doing okay. We've got weeds, of course, as always, and of course this Mexican petunia that has decided to invade this space. Those are fine. The lavender is surprisingly still alive, but being directly under this sooty mold infested plant, that won't last long. And then we've got, I don't remember what this is, guys. I did it again. I planted a pumpkin or squash and didn't label it. If you're not new here, you'll notice that happens quite often. I plant a plant, think I'm going to remember what it is, and then I forget. So then I have to watch and wait to figure out exactly what's going to grow. Once they have fruit, then that's when I find out what it's going to be. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this jessamine. I don't like the way it's growing on the trellis. I want to plant something else in this place, something that fruits. Once I get the plant and put it in, I'll let you know what it is, but for now it's a surprise. So first things first, I am going to go ahead and clear this space. So let's do that. I'm just gonna move the bags all out the way so I can see this space more clearly. If you're not new here, you know that's how I work. I gotta create a clear canvas before I can start painting. This plant has finally taken off. I think the key to getting my pumpkins to do well is to start them around June, because it seems like the ones that I've started in June are doing okay. I do not recommend waiting till July in Central Florida to complete your garden projects. This is a case of do as I say and not as I do. I just can't stand to look at it anymore. I absolutely despise this nasty black discoloration to my plants. So I don't have a whole lot of room in this garden. I wouldn't call it a small garden, but it's not large either. And I do have a limited space for which to plant. So I've got to be wise about what stays and what goes in the garden. That's why things are constantly evolving out here, because I kind of garden on a whim, I would say. I don't have a major plan. I didn't set out a footprint for this space before planting. I just kind of put things where I thought they'd do best, watched them, and if they didn't, I removed them, or they died, and I removed them. Or, you know, they stayed if they grew well. This plant has had its time, and now it must go. Because this is diseased, I'm gonna separate what I remove here. I'm not gonna add it to my normal compost pile. I'm actually going to discard this in the trash. You never wanna put diseased plants in your compost. I am out here early in the morning, and I haven't been out here for 20 minutes, and I'm already sweating up a storm. So for those of you with meek constitutions, summer is definitely not the best time to be doing this. All right, now to relocate some of these plants. Stokes. That right here is where the trellis was before, and all of the bags were surrounding it. Okay, this is the grapevine, and the grape bed is over this way. This way we have the Asian pear trees and the seating, and this is the state of the path right now, and this leads to the entrance of the garden. So I've gone ahead and kind of roughly placed the trellis where I want it to go this time. It used to be right here, and the path was a little bit more narrow. I replaced it here, and I went ahead and only put one bag back, and that is the bag that contains, I figured out what it is. I found the label, guys. This is a spaghetti squash, believe it or not. So I'm gonna let the spaghetti squash continue to grow here. It has an elecampane in its bed. That's sage. And what else does it have? And it has some bunching onions as well. So I'm gonna let that be. Let it trail in this currently unused bed and see how it does. Let me know in the comments what you think. The daily afternoon rainstorm has begun. Definitely not perfect gardening weather, but the plants are happy, and if the plants are happy, I'm happy. This is literally later on the same day. What a big difference. This is how it is. It's rainy season in Central Florida. That was very scary. I felt that one, okay. Yeah, so I'm not getting out there in this rain to do anybody's gardening. I'll just wait until first thing in the morning again. Good morning. I'm out here even earlier this morning because I'm trying to get stuff done before that heat kicks in. What I'm looking at is all of my star fruit, little baby star fruits that were knocked down by yesterday's storm. It happens. It's sad, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, it rained probably for about 2-3 hours yesterday. Which again is not uncommon, but it was pretty heavy for a consistent amount of time. That's probably why all these babies got knocked down. This tree, as you can see, is still quite loaded. So, and still got flowers on it. The only problem with coming out here this early in the morning is that the dew hasn't dried yet. So I've got to contend with walking through the garden while it's wet. And it's kind of yucky. And then early in the morning like this, it's also bug time. It's usually the no-see-ums that get me at this time. That's why I've got on this trusty little patch. Isn't it cute? A friend of mine got or gave me a few of these patches. They're infused with citronella. I thought, this is not gonna work, but it's actually done pretty good. I wore it yesterday too. I don't know if you've noticed it. I don't know if you noticed it yesterday, but I was wearing it. And it did seem to help. I'm just trying to gather my equipment for the day. All right, let's start with that. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. Now just look at my path. Look at this dill. Look at this. See what I mean? Now I've got to go in here because it's so heavy with saturation. Everything kind of leans into the path. Now I've got to push it out of the way, and it's dripping, and I'm gonna be soaked. Ugh. All right. Ugh. Made it through, but look, I'm soaked. Good thing it's warm outside. Not warm enough to sweat yet, but definitely warm outside. Ooh, the no-see-ums are out. I'm hoping this little thing works today because they are out and they are flying around my head. And I can see them today, which tells you that they are out because usually you don't see them. That's why they call it no-see-um. They just get you, and then later on you start scratching a new bump that they formed. But I can actually see them. I don't know if you can see them, but they're kind of flying around me. They're usually a little bit more active this early in the morning, and they especially after heavy rain. So I don't like it. I don't like it. Waking up early has its advantage in fighting the heat, but you got to fight other things. You got to fight your desire to sleep. You got to fight the no-see-ums. You got to fight the saturated plants in your path. It's just, whoever said gardening was easy was a liar. Okay, I digress. Back to what I came out here to do. This is the bed that I cleaned up yesterday. The area, I should say, that I cleaned up yesterday. And today is planting day. What I've put here is a bleeding heart vine. It was just one that I pulled out while doing some off-camera cleaning yesterday of one of the trellises, and I yanked this piece of vine and it came with roots, so I figured, let me go ahead and put it in here and see what it does. Now, okay, I probably should not put it here because if it does take root, it's going to be competing with the new plant that I got. Remember, I alluded to it yesterday. Well, for you, it's still today, but for me, it was yesterday. It is called a sweet granadilla plant, and it is similar to a passion fruit in its size, its texture, and its taste, but it's supposed to be much sweeter than a passion fruit. It is not exactly a passion fruit, but I believe it's in the same family. I found out about it because I was researching other, oh my God, these no-see-ums. I don't think this thing is helping. Come on, work. Because they are everywhere. Oh. I'm trying to spread out this, oh. This is awful. Okay. Ugh. Distractions. I found the sweet granadilla plant when I was researching other forms of passion fruit. I just wanted another variety in the garden. I'm going to show you the passion fruit that we planted together. This is the passion fruit that we planted together, I believe, in February or March of this year. As you can see, it's already gone over the trellis. We've got grapes here that have also started going over the trellis, and they kind of meet in the middle. It is doing very well, very, very well. And we've got a little bit of the hardy kiwi also growing up this vine. Hardy kiwi still has not made me any fruit yet. This is its second year. Oh, pulled off this leaf. This is its second year in this garden, and I did move it when I put up this trellis, and so it's taking some time to reestablish. But this passion fruit, this is a purple passion fruit, is true to form and growing vigorously on this trellis. Still no fruit yet, but it's still young, so I expect that. So I figured instead of having that jessamine with its sooty mold and weird growth habit, a fruiting vine would be much better. I'll put up a picture of what the sweet granadilla looks like. Like I said, it's supposed to be sweeter than a passion fruit. I enjoy the taste of passion fruit. Just found out recently after planting the plant when I went to Thailand. I really did enjoy the passion fruit. So why not have another one that's a sweeter variety? No, I've never tasted it. I know that is an issue that my husband pointed out, the fact that I plant things in the garden that I think sound good without actually tasting them. But research said that they tasted good, so why not? and I was able to find it, and I wasn't able to find the other passion fruit that was my alternate choice. And I'll put a picture up of what the alternate passion fruit was as well. I googled sweetest passion fruit variety to plant, and these two things came up, so I picked one. I'm gonna put this little girl on in here. So I plan to pop her right here and then slowly trellis her up this thing. I had to clean it off from that plant with the sooty mold. Did I miss a couple spots? Yeah, I think I'm gonna wash it off a little bit more before I attach this plant. So I thought the rain would wash this off pretty well without me doing much, but there is still a little bit of this mold on here, and I'm using insecticidal soap, not because this is an insect, it's actually a fungus on here, but for the soapy quality of the spray, that's why I'm using this insecticidal soap. I have it on hand, and it has dual purpose, so I'm just cleaning this off a little bit better so that there's less of a chance that it's going to affect my new plant. Now that task is done, go ahead and put in our new little girl. Hopefully she does well in this space and she gives me some sweet fruit. We don't need to give the hubby a reason to say I told you so. If the fruit is not good. He says, see? I don't know why you keep planting these fruits if nobody's going to eat them. How many fruit trees have I planted before tasting the fruit? Well, we know the passion fruit, the purple passion fruit. I planted a gumi chama cherry tree. Haven't tasted that. I planted the plum cot tree. I never tasted a plum cot. What else? What other trees? Hardy kiwi. I've never tasted hardy kiwi, but I like kiwi, and it's supposed to taste just like kiwi, except it grows in Florida, so I figured win-win. What else? There haven't been that many. You know, they sound like there were so many trees that I planted before tasting them. Also the Java Chicaba. I didn't taste that before planting it, but I did taste it later on, and I do like it. So, win for me there too. Put her back in. This soil has already been amended. I reused some of the soil from the bags that had spent plants in them that I wasn't going to grow back in again. I just went ahead and emptied those bags here and added some compost to this space as well. I usually do not get rid of soil. We reuse soil around here because we just replenish it. Unless there's a major disease like root knot nematode, I reuse my soil. Sooty mold does not stop me from reusing my soil because as long as the conditions are right, the sooty mold will go away. I want to show you the rest of the stuff that I did off camera yesterday. We cleaned this area up so that I could get in here and actually harvest my peppers without being assaulted by wayward plants. This is the blueberry area, looking nice and neat with my peppers in it. And we moved the bird bath here temporarily. I don't know if I like it here or if I want to move it back. I think I want to see it, so I'm going to move it back to this space. We went ahead and kind of reorganized this path a little bit so there's more room for walking. My little mango tree, see? And so now I can get back here. We cleaned up these bags as well so that I have a nice clear path to get to my longans because they are fruiting and I want to be able to access them. I weeded these bags in this big pot here. Took care of some weeds along the ground. I cut back the salt and pepper plant so that it's no longer in the path. We've got some chop and drop that has been here for a little while that's going to stay there until it completely disintegrates. So see, I got a lot done here. And I went ahead and planted a few more things in this bed. Basically my sugar baby starts and some jade and Armenian cucumbers. I cleaned up this area. Yes, I did. I put the peppers that were in that other area with the new granadilla. I put the peppers here instead. They get full sun. The tomatoes are done, so I pulled up those tomatoes. I've got a couple of bags here to empty. These have goldenrod in them. This is volunteer goldenrod, so it can go. I'm gonna empty those bags into a Vigo garden bed that I'm now kind of recycling for future use. This is where I relocated the plants from that sweet granadilla bed. This is the plum bed, and as you can see, the plum trees are recovering from that yellowing secondary to lack of sunlight. This is what they were doing, and that's the new growth. So it pays to cut back your trees. Look, this is the most surprising thing. Look at that. This plum tree is flowering again, and I don't know why. Flowering can also be a sign of stress. It is stressed out, and sometimes they get stressed out and they go ahead and flower so that they can reproduce before they die. So I hope that's not a sign that my tree is dying. But anyway, we've got this poor little camellia here, and you can see with all the sun, she's got just a little bit of sun scorch going on. Relocated the Stokes aster. They're pretty resilient, so I hope that they will survive. And we've got our hosta here, our sun hosta that we moved. Okay, what else did we do? Oh, I know, I'm going to show you. So this is where I have been emptying the spent soil into this Vigo bed. I'm gonna get some more stuff done off camera, but I think I'm gonna end this video here. Don't want it to get too long. So that's it for today. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. Thanks for watching.